Hey my people, what's going on? This is Major TV. Let's talk. Why black people sit on the sideline, waiting, wondering and doubting into the movement? I'll tell you why. The reason being simple. As a black people, we've seen throughout history, during slavery, I'm talking about since we've been in this country, during slavery and after slavery, when there are revolts, when there are people that stands up, the lack of unity have always hurt us. Even though we have successful revolts with the Harriet Tubmans, the Sojourner Truth of the world, I mean, for the most part, and that's just two people came to our mind, the fact that we could overcome and build communities, when the United States Supreme Court, build, rebuild, actually created this country, a bunch of inventions from black people. The list can go on, all we have accomplished, right? But overall, the lack of unity have killed us, as well as poor leadership. Those who won't be in leadership but failed to uphold their obligations. And some get so deluded and believing that it's about them and forget the people. And see, with power corrupts anyone who don't stay humble, keep the Most High first, and the people first, and the cause and movement of the people. I say all to say this. For me, I've been on the sideline a minute, right? And I've did things, but not so aggressive, because I've seen what they have done. You've seen what they have done. People really stood up, challenged the justice system, even challenged the black community. And look what happened to them. You know what? The current example is GMG with NFAC. Look how the black community is treated. All this extra energy, all this extra talk, but not able to come together. Not able to really resolve whatever differences and focus on the people. I question anybody's intent. Question anybody who say they're part of the movement that can't come together. And then that just let things recklessly come out their mouth. Very disrespectful things. Things that could make another person not deal with you at all. So for me, I look at that, right? I think about how I was reluctant to just throw myself over in the movement. Because I've always just been black. Always been for the people once I became conscious, once I became awoke. But the problem had been that the movement had become very extra, very commercial, and the same old. The same talk, the same rah, and everybody's emotions stirred up. And then it was time for to take action. Second guessing, not really sure, don't know what the direction is going. Now you're worrying about people getting killed and getting locked up when they're already doing us there. It's just crazy, like. And for me, I've never been one to say, well, let's take up arms and respond. But I've been one who said, defend yourself regardless. Before there was an NFAC, I always felt defending yourself. I've been in a position like that, I was defending myself. You feel me? It may not work out legally for you, largely because no unity. Largely when something happens publicly to people, a lot of time you see certain leaders come out there on protest and talk and so forth, so on. And the thing about it, they still got to go knocking at master door, waiting for master to open the door and see if master going to respond. If master don't respond, then we're back to square one. That what happened to the civil rights movement they were showing. And though they see people jumping on everything that was affecting black people that was popular, right? People getting hung, slung, raped, whatever the case might be. They wasn't always winning. And there was times when they didn't get no kind of response, no righteous response about that mistreatment or constitutional violation, human rights violation, or what have you, right? They will forget about the person and move on to the next one. So, this is what we have been dealing with. Like, the difference is you got one that can talk vulgar, the other one that can talk a little, I don't want to say civil, using diplomacy, right? But both of them really saying the same, just saying it in different words. No more what the Republicans and Democrats do. One more overt, the other one more covert. Malcolm talked about that. South overt, not covert. That's all it is. And what you're dealing with is how much the people can attract to follow you. At the end, when you have no immediate action plan to go and end the community, because the community, you close your eyes, just close your eyes and think about anything the community needs. It should be addressed. Because it's not just about policing our community. It's not just about educating our kids. It's not just about black businesses. It's about everything. But my point is, at least get behind something. Don't get me wrong, salute for grassroots programs, organizations that's out here that's really reaching the people. But as far as myself, I'm like this. When there's no real support, when people are getting caught up, and there's no real response to like the GMG, the bro Ozone, the bro Spike and all that, and you have people publicly saying things and doing things that just don't make no sense, you have to question that. I'm just being 100. I'm just being 100 about it. And when black people see how the power structure dangle leaders and people in our face, like, look at them. What you gonna do? Look at her. Look what you gonna do. You got people right now that's been locked up nearly 50 years or more. The Black Power movement. People that helped Assange Shakur escape. People that part of the Black Power movement, the Black Panthers and what have you. It was different organizations. It was all about Black Panther. It was all about the Black Power movement back then. What are people that's right now rooting on the challenge and what have you? Some of them was back then. And my problem, I'm trying to say, I'm not calling nobody out, but I'm saying some people still in jail for fighting for what we thought was right? Which was right. And most of the time, these people was targeted by the police, targeted by the federal government, pulling them over, messing with them. And back then, the urgency to be armed and be protected was more because they have cameras. They have videos like that. They have body cams or what have you. That's becoming useless because even with body cams, they're still not trying to convey. So for me, I'm like, I understand why some black people still on the side. Now, I'm not saying they justify. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that within itself will fulfill you, if not feel doubt. I see a lot of people, right? There's all kind of black organizations. You got the bikers, the black bikers. Got a lot of social organizations, especially in New Orleans, second line groups and what have you. And they do things, but they don't really be addressing the heart of the problem. They just be enjoying themselves, and every once in a while they're doing it. It's a good thing. But so much more if we come together we can do. And as a truck driver, I see a lot of black groups and organizations, see all kind of stuff, right? I'm talking about be traveling and we seeing all kind of get-togethers. And I'm like, damn. We got unity, but we're unified behind that partying and drinking, having a little fun. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to like nobody having fun. But I'm just saying, though, to make a long story short, it baffles me that how people dying, becoming steady getting incarcerated, laws steady passing. They're still doing the same thing in the workplace. the United States Supreme Court and these court systems have been becoming more conservative, whereas they instead of handing down decisions that's working adversely against the people. You know what I'm saying? Giving more power to businesses as well as, you know, by Congress being owned by corporations and what have you. It's so much I can just talk about. Not alone how we the least of all races in the country at the bottom. And they have this inference out there, right? And this inference they no longer talk about. You can just look at it and assume when people, other nations come in, leave our situation as bad as looking at our neighborhoods, schools, etc. It's black people's fault. We know it's all engineered. Still, we do nothing about it. Still, we can't sit down and talk, you know what I'm saying, and really put together some real plans. I can talk about many reasons why it's like that. And I think you know that why it's like that. My problem is, or why I'm saying about why black people are not in the movement like that, not supporting, is because just that. When they do take down leaders, we don't know how to come together and fight back. That's why it's so easy for anybody to get arrested by them, like Bro Spike, you know, not knowing all, not talking about the case, not knowing all the circumstances. It's just snapped because it would have been hard for him to try to get a group. And people that do want to go down there, I've spoke openly about the fact that when he was talking about going, have a plan. We are afterthought people. We think about things after the fact. No, you're supposed to think about that before it happened. You know, you have to really foresee things. Anybody encounter police, what your reaction gonna be if this happened, that happened? You encounter racists, what your reaction gonna be? You know, and a lot of times I don't think we do that. You know, and I don't think that we realize the significance of us being watched, of them watching our social media. Despite this showing in GMJ case, they're pulling up certain things or videos, you know, that was previously previously dropped, you know, and in other cases they're bringing up videos. Even in Bro Spike case they brought up a video, and Bro Ozone case they brought up a video. It's a reason, and we're not seeing a pattern. They are watching what we say and do, you know, and nobody in their eyes above the law. So I say to all the cities here, just look at what's going on. It's 2021, and we just as worse as we was in 1921 in reference to their reaction towards us and our condition. Even though education-wise, we probably higher in education. You know, money-wise, it might be more plentiful. But we're not nearby unified as they were. And we're not nearby on cold, you know. And don't get me wrong, there are people that sitting on the sideline that's just waiting. They waiting. They're all in the mentions and chats talking about how they really feel. And I really believe that, you know, because I was one that was on the sideline for years, and would trip me out with Hassan Cameron talk bad about Kwame Brown, about where he was at so forceful on and when he hit the scene. It doesn't matter when somebody at the scene. People often, that's been a thing now. It's like if you ain't been doing it 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you should be talking about that's BS. Who even gave somebody the right to say when you should enter now? The movement messed up since day one and still messed up. And the difference between now and then, it was more unity, and the situation was more dare. And I don't want to even try to say, I hate to say it's more dare, because I was wishing dare now, because it's affecting future generations because of what happened. Then it was all orchestrated, engineered. It's happening to us now. It will be happening to our kids, and their kids, what have you, may be worse. So, I mean, there's a lot of prediction being made. There's a lot of people that's in fear, like they won't have no food in August and all this stuff here, right? But I tell anybody, you be prepared. You have to be prepared. You don't know what may happen. I must say that. So I just had to get this off my mental, because y'all know about what I did last night in my live. I just spoke from my heart how I felt about hearing my name, mentioned some nonsense, and that person got my email and never contacted me. And just threw it out there freely, like. And I'm like, this is what we gotta deal with our community. People that sound like they know what they're talking about. And I'm not saying that person know what they're talking about. People that be hitting the hammer and nails sometimes, but they vary. And they sound like they're loose upstairs, but they just don't have control. At a certain age, wisdom's supposed to be shown. You shouldn't be loose by the mouth. And I'm not saying anyone perfect. But at a point where now we don't have no time. I tell people it's crunch time. We have no time to be messing off and playing around. People are dying. People being locked up. People being silenced. You know? It's people becoming more and more spiritually dead and distant from reality. So this is not a joke. If we can't really address this for what it is, we need to shut up and let somebody else do it. At one time, the government would come at us, right? So when we talk about sharing and caring the black community and exposing the lies and bringing the truth, they would normally be pulling out all kinds of stuff out your background, trying to defame you, scandalize you, and put your name in the dirt. Just really try to dog you and show society that you ain't what you say you are, right? But now you got black people doing that. They ain't even given the power to do that. You know, they're doing it themselves. So for me, I'm like, we're doing it ourselves. So like, I'm like, damn, it got easy for power that be because we are fighting among each other. You know, you have to think a lot to just ignore what people say about you. But sometimes I'm to the point where you have to address that. You have to make sure people know what's going on. But don't give too much energy to it. Don't give too much power, but just do what you gotta do. That's what I did last night, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to know, you probably know this already. But that's one of the reasons why black people don't become part of the movement. And I understand all black people isn't built for certain tasks and certain things. I know all black people don't see themselves as black, and I know we've been calling ourselves, you know, originally copper tone people, original, indigenous, hey, all that, right? And I'm talking to those who understand that that's just a symbolic thing to say black and how they created the colors and what have you and all that. I understand all that. The German doctor doing what he's doing about the Caucasoids, Mongoloids, Negroids. I did all the research on that, right? You know, I understand it. But right now, we use it. That's how people are talking and stuff. But I do acknowledge the copper tone people. I do acknowledge indigenous and originals. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I'm on them levels like that. I'm also looking at the self-determination thing with Lana Porter, where she going with that. So I'm with it. But at the same time, I'm speaking just to common folks that understand how we've been addressing each other the last some years, because we always been having a battle with what's our true original name we should call ourselves. So for me, I look at things in the light of trying to relate to the people and gradually educating them and gradually holding their hand. Everybody catch on like that, and some people just don't care about all that. You know, they could be getting kicked in the ass, they could be being mistreated, they could be talked to like dirt. You have to be talked to as though they fly on the wall. I mean, I don't know how to terminate without being too disrespectful or ugly about it, but just being real. You know, those who feel like why we fight, why we can't come along. There's those who feel like how I'm speaking. We can't stop fighting among each other. We know how the power that be can come at us, and we still fall in the same trap. You got those who really want to know. They're very curious. They want to hear the truth. It's obvious, you know what I'm saying? They're all over social media, especially platforms like myself that speak about real pertinent issues regarding our community and diaspora in general. So it's there. But what's all the fuss and fight about it? How we can't disagree, how we letting religions, how we letting names, how we letting all the somatic games, all the divisive games to keep us from sitting down and talking. But guess what? They'll sit down and talk about you and I, how to take us down. I'm just Major TV just talking to you, that's all. I've been talking way longer than I wanted to, but trying to get my walk on, control my breathing and things. It's hot as hell, but that's what's up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for all of the support, donations. Y'all great people. Just need to know that. Real talk. Y'all stay focused still on culture, be black. Peace.
What if I told you that I love you, my brother, no hatred? What if I told you that hell was something that we created? Praying to that white Jesus to take you out of slavery. I'm from New Orleans, baby, I seen a plantation.